Knoxville back in 1973. The Tigers won on that day, and now this is the 23rd time he brings a team to Knoxville, trying to end it on a good note as well. Today, the Tennessee Volunteers take on those LSU Tigers. Hi, everyone. Bob Kessling along with Joe Dean from the Thompson Bowling Arena. Welcome to Sunday afternoon SEC basketball. An LSU team, Joe, that's been plagued by problems, people leaving the team, some injuries, and they've struggled a bit.
They have struggled, but the one constant is a senior out of New Orleans, Dwayne Spencer. Spencer's the only player for LSU that's averaging double figures this season. He actually leads the SEC in field goal percentage, 53%. And Dale Brown said about Dwayne Spencer, as Spencer goes, so goes our LSU Tigers.
You look at the Tennessee Volunteers. This is the team that's really played pretty well in this building, but they have really struggled on the road. And, Joe, sometimes that happens to a young basketball team.
Tennessee's a very young team, predominantly freshmen and sophomores, but the most impressive newcomer for Tennessee this year is freshman C.J. Black out of Chattanooga. He leads Tennessee in scoring and rebounding in SEC competition. He's a big, strong young man, has had some shoulder problems, but he has become the main inside threat for the Tennessee Vols.
And so Dale Brown brings his team to Knoxville trying to win. And we'll be back with the starting lineups for today's game between LSU and Tennessee in just a moment.
SEC basketball is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Check the yellow pages for the nationwide agent nearest you. By BP. At BP, everything we do is to keep you moving. By CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. For the CarQuest store nearest you, call 1-800-492-HEART. And by Bell South, one single source for all your telecommunications needs.
Tennessee Volunteers 7-6 overall, 1-3 in the SEC against LSU today. The LSU Tigers 8-9 overall and 1-3 in the SEC. Here's a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Tigers, and they've changed things up just a bit. First of all, starting at forward, Lewis Earl. Bob Hall, kind of a homecoming for him. He played at Hiawassee Junior College just down the road. Makes his second start today. Dwayne Spencer, the only Tiger to start all 18 games now, will be in the middle. And then their backcourt, Maurice Carter, a good outside shooter who has struggled from three-point range, and Gene Neighbors, the sophomore point guard. Of course, the head coach of the Tigers, Dale Brown, and this is 25th and final season with the LSU Tigers. He's won 446 games in Baton Rouge. Now the starting lineup for the Tennessee Volunteers. Torrey Harris, better known for his defense than offense at one forward. Rashard Lee has gotten much more playing time in recent games. C.J. Black, the freshman center who has struggled with the shoulder probably, but he's really coming on offensively. He's in the middle. And the backcourt, Brandon Wharton, the veteran sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Deshae Jones, a junior college player who has been struggling with a stress fracture, but now he is in the starting lineup. And the head coach of the Volunteers is Kevin O'Neill, in this his third year with a record of 32-37 at Tennessee. So Tennessee and the Tigers will tip it off. Dale Brown's in the house. We'll be back in a moment. And the PA announcer made the introductions.
LSU head coach Dale Brown, who is retiring after this season, first coached against Tennessee back in the 1972-73 season at the Stokely Athletic Center. From that time on, at Stokely and at the Thompson Bowling Arena, the teams have played 22 times, each winning 11. In recognition of Dale Brown's coaching career and the games between the Vols and Tigers in Knoxville, Athletics Director Doug Dickey and Executive Assistant to the Athletics Director Gus Manning are presenting Coach Brown a commemorative plaque highlighting his games against Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, a Thompson Bowling Arena welcome for Coach Dale Brown in his final game here at the University of Tennessee as LSU head coach.
And so the presentation, now the game underway as Tennessee wins the opening tap and Brandon Wharton goes to work against Gene Neighbors of LSU. Joe, what do you expect from LSU defensively against Tennessee?
Well, they've really picked up their defense the last few games, Bob. They are a man-to-man team and very aggressive. That time trying to front the low post, and they caused the turnover.
So LSU gets it. And out Tennessee, they have struggled offensively, but their defense has been solid all season long, Joe.
Well, it has. The defense leads the SEC in points allowed. As a matter of fact, the last 3 seasons under Kevin O'Neill, Tennessee has led the league in points allowed. And again this year, they're in that statistical category. You see turnovers to start both games, both possessions. So Tennessee has the ball in a scoreless game. We played right out a minute here at the Thompson Bowling Arena. Dale Brown won that first matchup, by the way.
here in Knoxville back in 73, 78 to 74. And his Tigers have won 6 of the last 7 matchups in this series. Tennessee won the game last year, and that's a traveling violation against Brandon Wharton. That game was down in Baton Rouge. Tennessee won at 73-65.
LSU has struggled on the road in the last 2 seasons. They've lost 9 straight on the road in the SEC. As a matter of fact, their last road win was right here 2 years ago.
Spencer touches it for the first time. Neighbors drops it down low, and the jump shot is put up and in by Bob Hall.
Good screen in the lane that time by Lewis Earl. Got Bob Hall open underneath the basket. Nice offensive set by Dale Brown right there.
So the Tigers draw first blood. It's 2-0. Brandon Wharton gives the ball to Richard Lee. Now back to Wharton, who's open. He's been hot the last 2 games, and Wharton drills a 3, and Tennessee takes a 3-2 advantage.
Yeah, they've played 4 SEC games, Bob. He started out 3 for 25 in his first 2 SEC games, but he's come back strong in the last 2. 23 against Vandy, 16 the other night at Auburn.
Hall goes to work again. No good. Ball batted out. Hall saves it. Now it's stolen by Brandon Wharton. Wharton racing with Carter, and he missed the layup. Richard Lee runs it down. That's one thing Lee has brought to the team, hustle out of that number 3 spot.
Very athletic, Richard Lee, and a good rebounder. Goes to the offensive boards at 6'5", has good quickness around the basket.
Kevin O'Neill has said it hasn't been the offensive patterns, it's been turnovers that's really cost Tennessee, and just not knocking down wide open shots. That's been a problem. Torrey Harris doesn't like to shoot very much. Kicks it back out to Jones. 8 seconds of the shot clock. Shea Jones missed it, and Jones hustles after it, and Tennessee resets.
Good hustle by Tennessee. And the one area, Bob, that they have struggled, as you talked about, offensively, their offensive efficiency has just not been very good. And in 3 of the last 4 SEC games, under 41 points. That's not going to get it done in this league.
Wharton open again. Missed that one. Lee got a hand on it, but the rebound is controlled by Lewis Earl, the brother of Lester Earl, who of course dropped off the LSU team around the first of the year. Earl on the baseline, hit the side of the backboard, and Torrey Harris gets the rebound. All slow getting back, so Tennessee had a 5-on-4, but good dealing with it. And so now Tennessee resets. Volunteers lead 3-2, and Jones fires. That's an air ball.
Both teams really struggle offensively. That's why they're each 1-3 in the league. Tennessee's actually last in the SEC in field goal percentage at 39.7. LSU 10th in the SEC in field goal percentage. But Kevin O'Neill's got a very young team, primarily freshmen and sophomores, and some help on the way for next year.
They're on the baseline, lost it out of bounds. And so the Volunteers get it back on the turnover.
Richard Lee again with the active defensive play right there. Tennessee is more of a pressure, but yet they contain. They're not going to get out and play at the half-court line. They're going to play within the 3-point line. They actually are last in the league in turnover margin. They do not force a lot of turnovers. Their defense is primarily containment.
There's a turnover right there as Bob Hall got a hand on the pass. Carter racing in, scores it, and is fouled. So Maurice Carter scores to give the Tigers a 4-3 lead, and he'll go to the line to try and make it 5-3.
And the LSU defense also been very sound. Good pressure on the ball. You see Bob Hall knocking away the entry pass to the post, and Maurice Carter in the right spot. Takes it all the way to the goal. Good strength off of a 2-foot jump stop to get it in and draw the foul.
Carter completes the 3-point play, and Dale Brown's Tigers now lead it by a score of 5-3. We played 4 minutes here in Knoxville. Glad you're with us on Sunday afternoon. Bob Kessling and Joe Dean with SEC basketball today. Now a whistle inside. And away from the ball, Maurice Carter picks up the foul, trying to hand check to Shea Jones. So timeout now is asked for. LSU got on the 3-point play by Carter, has taken the lead against Tennessee. Scoring so far in SEC play, off to a 1-5 start from the field. LSU 2 out of 4, and so the Tigers have the 5-3 advantage. Tennessee has the basketball and a fresh 35 seconds on the shot clock.
LSU will zone on the out-of-bounds plays. You'll see a lot of teams do that, trying to protect the basket.
C.J. Black, his first move, and Hall blocks it. Bob Hall, a good defensive play against C.J. Black, and the Tigers run it back the other way. Hall, of course, a member of that Hiawassee connection, and Spencer gets his first touch and first basket.
Good set that time by LSU. Off the early offense fast break. They set a little down screen. Spencer came off of it. Bob Hall found him, and Spencer, an excellent shooter at 6'10", facing the basket.
5-0 run now for LSU to build the lead to 4. Brandon Wharton pops open and banks it in.
Good matchup there. Brandon Wharton, sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee, a left-hander going against Gene Neighbors. He got the best of him on that little head and shoulder fake and a bank shot off the glass.
Played 5 minutes, and the Tigers still lead by 2. 85th meeting between these two teams. Tennessee leads the all-time series, 46 wins to 38 for LSU. There's a baseline jump shot, no good. That's on by Spencer, and Tennessee rebound. Richard Lee shut off, gives it to Harris. Harris does not even look to shoot. Lee will from the baseline. Block, but C.J. Black gets it. Hall got a hand on it, and Black put it back in.
That's the area where C.J. Black has brought so much to the Tennessee team. Big around the goal, big body, takes up a lot of space, and gets to the offensive boards, finds loose balls, and gets them in the basket.
First time we've been tied today, tied at 7. Good dump down low, and Spencer taking it in, gets hammered, and will go to the line.
You can see offensively what LSU's trying to do for Dwayne Spencer. They're running him off a double screen on the baseline. You don't see it right there, but here he comes catching it in low. He gets the defense on his back and drives it right to the basket. Spencer not very strong. Can't really go up and power the ball in, but he does get to the foul line.
Had some ankle and big toe problems that have slowed him just a bit. Bob Hall goes out of the game. And into the contest comes Nick Shepard for LSU. At the line is Bob Hall. Should say Spencer, excuse me. 74% free throw shooter, gives LSU the lead.
Dwayne Spencer, of course, was a high school All-American out of Cohen High in New Orleans. He signed with Georgetown out of high school, played a couple of years there for John Thompson, and then found his way back to Baton Rouge and has been an outstanding player for Dale Brown the last 2 seasons. So
Spencer's 2 free throws puts the Tigers back in front. 9-7. Spencer now with 4 points on the day.
You can see LSU defensively slapping the floor on every defensive possession.
Charles Hathaway threw that one over the backboard, but he got fouled on the play. And we'll go to the line. Hathaway just came in, another strong freshman, 6'10" freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee, Hillwood High School. Bob Hall comes back in, and he'll try and body up against Hathaway, who is indeed a big body.
He is, Bob. Hathaway's only scored 11 points in 4 SEC games. They haven't gotten as much offensive production out of him since the SEC started. He had some double-figure games back in December, and that time they slid him down into the low post and got it to him, and he got himself to the foul line. When you catch the ball in the low post, you either want to score or get to the foul line, one of the two.
Hathaway cuts the lead at half, but LSU still in front, 9-8, and the Tigers bring it back up court. Carter, who is 0 for 18 on the season from three-point range. I think he can still shoot it, but he better be wide open. It better be a good shot now. Carter has really struggled from there. That has been one of the mysteries on this team so far, because he's had some pretty good looks. In fact, he had 27 three-point shots last year, but nothing going this year for him. Bob Hall trying to get some room inside. Good defense by Tennessee. The ball is banked up no good by Lewis Earl. And the Volunteers have a chance to take the lead this trip down. Aaron Green also coming into the game, number 5 out of Sweetwater, Tennessee. Back to Brandon Wharton. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jackson cut off. Wharton's open for 3. Got it again.
He got a big screen on the baseline from Charles Hathaway. Tennessee patient in their motion offense, trying to find their best shooters. In this case, Brandon Wharton, the left-hander,
well,
knocking
Wharton's
it down.
Got 2 three-point shots at 8 points. Spencer lost it, went right inside. Neighbors got it and got fouled.
Brandon Wharton moving well without the ball on the other end. You watch him right there. He came off a Hathaway screen, set his feet. He got a good look at the basket, and anytime he's able to square his shoulders, he can knock it down. And then great hustle by Spencer on the other end. Gene Neighbors is under the basket and gets to the foul line.
Fouled by Cornelius Jackson. There's a little bit of a controversy involving Jackson and Neighbors. Jackson thinks that Neighbors is one of his distant cousins. I talked to Gene Neighbors before the game. He said he's not sure. They're both from West Virginia. They grew up together, played against each other from junior high school on, from Beckley, West Virginia. And Gene finally admitted, well, somewhere down the line, maybe a great-grandmother and an aunt. But anyway, they've been close friends since they were young kids.
Gene Neighbors has been called on to replace Randy Livingston, who went pro after last season, the young man from New Orleans who had the knee problem. Livingston playing with the Houston Rockets, and also Deuce Ford, who from Memphis, who was supposed to be the point guard this year, but Ford was suspended from the team before the season started.
So Neighbors 2 free throws tied up at 11. Now Jackson working against Carter. That's an ugly looking shot, and the rebound is Spencer's.
Both teams doing a good job defensively, staying within the defense, blocking out on shots, handling defensive boards.
Hall fakes the 3, dumps it down low. A lot of hands down there, and the ball's knocked away. Tennessee's very good in that standpoint. You throw it down in the post, and Tennessee's going to swarm you down there.
They converge very, very well in the low post, and they're not going to give you anything easy.
Hathaway over the mark, and Spencer rebounds. Earl is open and banks it in.
Lewis Earl, Lester Earl's older brother, had 22 points in a big win earlier this season over Fresno State down in Baton Rouge, and Lewis Earl getting a start today. He's been a very surprising player for the LSU Tigers.
Kevin O'Neill takes a 22nd timeout to talk about his defense. Now it's our Bob Kessling, Joe Dean with you today. The LSU Tigers trying to get that first win on Dale Brown's farewell tour. He got a cowbell at Mississippi State and a hog hat over at Arkansas in the first 2 stops today. A nice plaque with a picture of Stokely Center where he started his coaching career against Tennessee. Good luck Hathaway to Jones, and Jones gets hammered going to the basket.
Well, that's a beautiful give-and-go play, the old-fashioned give-and-go. Deshae Jones, junior college transfer out of Vincennes. Nice bounce pass on the posting up Hathaway. Watch him cut to the goal and right back to him. That looked like the old Harlem Globetrotter, Meadowlark Lemons action there in the lane. Beautiful play. Charles Hathaway right there. Good look at the freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee.
There's Deshae Jones at the line. He's really been bothered by foot problems since he's been here. And he's played in 11 games for Tennessee.
He's a young man they thought would be a big scorer, but the foot injury obviously has caused him some problems.
They had a double lane violation. Bob Hall and Charles Hathaway jump in there, so that's basically just a turnover, so they will jump it up and give the ball to Tennessee on the alternate possession. LSU leads 13-12. We'll be back after this word from CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. Rambunctious Smokey getting at it today here at the Thompson Bowling Arena. His Volunteers, though, trail LSU by a score of 13-12. You see Isaiah Victor, a promising freshman out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Some question about his transcript. And so the University of Tennessee decided to redshirt Victor. And it's interesting because they thought he would be perhaps their best inside scorer. And then with the Deshae Jones injury, it's really hurt Kevin O'Neill's progress with this team.
And Kevin O'Neill's talked a lot about Isaiah Victor for the future. He, along with Tony Harris, the freshman out of Memphis, Tennessee, or I should say a high school senior in Memphis, who will be a freshman here next year. Kevin O'Neill thinks those 2 additions will help his team considerably.
Lewis Earl bangs in another one. Earl's got 4 points on the day now, and LSU leads again by 3, 15-12.
Lewis Earl, very aggressive player, has really come on of late. The LSU players call him the hardest working player on the team.
Ball goes right through Black's hands, and now LSU brings it back the other way. Bullet pass inside. Carter gets it back out. LSU scored 15 points already, and there was a game here against Memphis. They held the Memphis Tigers to 10 points in the first half, so this is a bonanza scoring for LSU compared to most of the teams that are coming in.
Yes, LSU's pushing the ball down the floor very well, looking for some early offense, trying to create some good looks at the basket before Tennessee can set up that tough half-court defense.
Tough luck for Aaron Green. That one was right in the middle of the basket, but popped out. Here's Carter, and that's his first 3-pointer of the season after 18 misses.
Well, he celebrated on that one too. He knows it was the first one of the year. His teammates jumped up on the sideline. They're excited for Maurice Carter. That's a big shot for the Tigers.
That pushes the lead to 6. Pass inside Hathaway as the ball stripped away. Good defense by Spencer. That's the senior on the freshman right there making the play. Neighbors pulls up. Hathaway underneath the rebound for Tennessee. Under 10 minutes to go first half. LSU leads by 6. Hathaway inside again. The ball knocked away. That time by Nick Shepard.
Hathaway struggling in the post. The passes are not great, but as a big guy, you've got to step to the ball, keep the defender on your back, and be big and strong in that post. And right now, Hathaway just not getting it done.
Left-handed shot, no good down low by Nick Shepard. And so Tennessee brings it back. 9:23 to go first half. Last year they talked about having Steve Hamer. He was the #1 option, and so most teams had to double team him, and that left a wide open 3 shots. There's no inside scoring threat this year, but Hathaway takes it in and gets fouled.
Before this play, watch the pass from Gene Neighbors here. Maurice Carter hadn't made a 3-point basket all season. Played a little string music right there, and watch Dale Brown. He liked that one. He loved it. That was a big shot for LSU.
He said, yeah, I told you to keep shooting, didn't I? Keep shooting as long as they go in.
But your point is well taken. Last year with Steve Hamer inside, Bob, Tennessee had that threat inside constantly. Hamer, a 20-plus point scorer, and it opened up shots on the perimeter. This year, with freshman Charles Hathaway and C.J. Black inside, they've not been able to get as much production right there. As a matter of fact, Kevin O'Neill talked about that Hathaway and Black lead the team in turnovers, and they've turned it over as much inside as any of the perimeter guys, and consequently the defenses have keyed on perimeter players for Tennessee as opposed to the post players.
Well, they haven't had to double team much in the post either.
Exactly.
And Torrey Harris, who just comes back into the game, has not been a scoring threat. So basically you're playing 4-on-5 a lot of games.
Exactly. Yeah, when you have a scouting report and you talk about who can we take away and who can we maybe play off of, they're talking about the Torrey Harrises and Charles Hathaways, but we don't really have to guard them when they go out, and when they catch it in the post, we'll let them play one-on-one and see if they can score.
Now a whistle and a hand check outside as Lewis Earl tries to take it to the basket. Talk about Lewis Earl. His brother Lester Earl was on this LSU team, a highly recruited player out of Baton Rouge, and right around the first of the year decides he doesn't want to play at Baton Rouge anymore, winds up at Kansas, but LSU's not going to give him the release.
Dale Brown's been very disappointed with Lester Earl. He told me before the game that he gave him some conditions by which he would allow a release to him. Beautiful out-of-bounds play right there.
Simmons got the bucket.
Beautiful out-of-bounds play to Simmons. But Lester Earl has not met any of the conditions, basically left the team, didn't say anything to Coach Brown, and consequently he says that young man's got to be held accountable for his actions. We're not going to give him this release.
But his brother has stayed, Lewis Earl. In fact, Earl with 4 points today, helping LSU to this 5-point advantage, 20-15.
Yeah, if Lester Earl had the kind of heart and intensity that his brother Lewis has shown here for LSU, you'd have one heck of a player.
That's a nice baseline move by Richard Lee, his first bucket of the day. So both of these teams showing some offensive punch in the first half. Simmons and Jackson bumping out front. And Jackson gets him for bellying up a little bit. That'll be his second foul.
LSU runs the old pick-the-picker play. You see the screen by Nick Shepard, number 32. That frees up Terrence Simmons, open underneath the freshman. And then watch Richard Lee. 2-footed jump stop gives him the strength and power to take it up and get it off the glass. That's a beautiful play by Richard Lee.
Pass inside. Wharton steps in front, but lost it out of bounds. Wharton, good defensive positioning. Just couldn't get the handle on it.
Tennessee chooses to out of bounds, play man-to-man on the out of bounds play, and LSU right there trying to lob. LSU runs some nice out of bounds sets and have scored a couple of times as we've seen.
That time Earl couldn't hit from in front. Tennessee going for the tie here, and Wharton hits again.
Brandon Wharton, the key guy for the Tennessee offense. When he shoots it good, he opens up a lot of things for his teammates. The SEC Freshman of the Year last year in some polls. Some polls had B.J. Mackey from South Carolina.
That's 3 out of 4 from long range for Wharton. 11 points, ties the game at 20. Earl tries to untie it, can't do it. Collision on the boards, knocked out of bounds by LSU. And Tennessee will have it when we come back. So Brandon Wharton's got the hot hand right now for Tennessee as the Volunteers have tied the Tigers. Entertaining first half. Tennessee and LSU tied up at 20-all with 7:35 to go. Our Nationwide Insurance Scholar Athlete of the Week is Mississippi State's Whit Hughes, the junior from Jackson.
Leader for Mississippi State this year and has scored more. They had a 13-point game against Ole Miss last Wednesday night. A big win over the Rebels. And there's another leader right there. Brandon Wharton runs the show for Tennessee, and all of a sudden got him back in a tie game with a couple of three-point baskets.
You know, Kevin O'Neill has challenged Wharton all season long to be that vocal, take charge guy. That's just not really in his nature. He's more of a quiet guy, but he's starting to become more assertive and understands for this team to win some games, he's going to have to step up and take some shots.
That's one of the things that Kevin O'Neill and every coach looks for on a basketball team. Who's going to be the vocal leader, the guy who has the presence on the floor to get everybody organized and get them to play hard, striving to win. Brandon Wharton right now the closest thing to it for Tennessee.
Scott Moore into the game for Tennessee, posting up down low. They kick it out. Richard Lee. Short. Carter boxes out, gets the rebound. Tie game. LSU's got the ball.
Notice how quickly Tennessee gets back defensively. Great job in transition. Kevin O'Neill never giving up anything easy offensively, but LSU has shot the ball pretty well here this afternoon.
Rogers Washington off the LSU bench. Hits his first bucket to give the Tigers the lead back, 22-20. Washington has been in and out of the starting lineup. He has started 12 games, and an illegal pick is called on Torrey Harris. That'll be his second foul.
Torrey Harris is the designated screener for Tennessee. Doesn't look to score much. He runs around the court in the motion offense, trying to free up the perimeter shooters for Tennessee, and that time he got caught for the moving screen.
Second foul on Harris, so he'll go to the bench. That's the 6th foul on Tennessee, so LSU will shoot the 1-and-1 from here on out this half. LSU has 4 fouls. Tigers lead it by 2. 6:30 to go, first half. Shot clock now to 10. Neighbors tries to reset the offense. On that 1-4 stack. And the ball goes right through the hands of Rogers Washington. Pretty good defense by Tennessee.
Excellent defensive possession. You can tell that Kevin O'Neill's done a good job in the scouting report of walking his team through the LSU offense. Every screen that time, all the cuts LSU was trying to make, Tennessee was there to take them away, and that's a sign that they've been well prepared for this game.
6 minutes to go. C.J. Black rolls it in and has a chance to give Tennessee the lead.
Excellent offensive series. Watch him take the ball from one side to the other, and then Black steps in, catches the ball in the low post, has the strength inside. Watch him move up the lane to shield himself from Spencer. Good help right there by Bob Hall, but Black has the strength and the power to take it up through the double team and score. Nice play.
So now Black goes to the line. 73% free throw shooter, drills that one, and Tennessee has the lead back, 23-22. It's been a seesaw affair so far in the first half. Carter slices through. Black swipes it away. Washington picks it up. Shot clock not reset. Carter bombs again. Not this time. And Scott Moore boxing out Bob Hall. Hall picks up the foul over the back.
Again, LSU looking for the three-point shot. Maurice Carter said, I made the first one. Let's go ahead and take that second one. What the heck? He turns it loose. But watch the great block out by Scott Moore. Great job of getting position on Bob Hall inside. And Scott Moore, another one of those Tennessee sophomores, with the rebound and the foul. You know, one of the things about the game, 6 sophomores and 1 freshman started this game today. There's a lot of young players in the SEC throughout.
Tennessee has no seniors on its team. Only 1 junior, and that's Deshae Jones, a junior college player. So the future is bright for Kevin O'Neill. He always said this was going to be the toughest year of the rebuilding, this 3rd season. Next year we'll have a seasoned team with some juniors on it. C.J. Black lost it in the lane. Bob Hall calls timeout while he's on the floor. So good hustle play by LSU's Bob Hall. And so the Tigers will retain possession on a 22nd timeout. Coming up on Wednesday night, more SEC basketball for you as the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks. They won again yesterday at home against Georgia. Big story so far this year.
The cream always rises to the top. They had 2 big losses, Charleston Southern and North Carolina Asheville in December. A lot of people started to question South Carolina. They're off to a 5-0 start. Eddie Fogler's got that team going in the right direction. And Mackey, Davis, Watson, Nate Wilburn is back now playing well. And South Carolina certainly a team to reckon with in the SEC.
5 minutes to go, first half. A close encounter here. You see the field goal percentage. Both teams with 8 field goals. And now a holding foul on Aaron Green. Trying to check Neighbors coming up.
You normally don't see that type of pressure out that far from the basket from Tennessee, but Kevin O'Neal thinks that he can put some pressure on Gene Neighbors, cause him problems out front, and disrupt the LSU offensive sets. The crowd doesn't like it. Watch Aaron Green. He's second in the SEC in steals. Looked like a little push-off maybe right there, but you just see the bumping, and the emphasis this year from the officials is on hand checking and bumping back in the backcourt.
Neighbors rolls in his 3rd free throw of the day. He started 14 games last year. This is his 14th start today this season. And so he's been a valuable member of this LSU team and gets 2 free throws. And the Tigers seesaw back in front, 24-23. C.J. Black inside, puts it up, and a charge is called. Good position again by Bob Hall. It's 2 straight good defensive plays by the LSU center.
Well, what happened right there? Spencer jumped out to help on the screen, and when he did, it left Hall in the lane to play the rollout man, which in that case was C.J. Black. Hall in perfect defensive position, got the charge.
24-23 LSU. Tigers with the basketball.
Tennessee extending its pressure a little bit.
Hall shut off that time. Carter, the left-hand shot is good.
That's really where Carter excels. Off the dribble, knifing to the lane, using his athletic ability to get the ball up to the basket.
Carter, a good first half now with 8 points. Wharton lost the ball. Still loose. About 4 players scramble after it. And in the alternate possession, Tennessee will retain possession.
LSU's done a good job on the on-ball screens that Tennessee likes to run for Brandon Wharton. Spencer's been stepping out big and strong, giving some show help, and causing Wharton to veer out a little bit farther before he takes it toward the basket.
Alley-oop to Richard Lee. He's a pretty good athlete, isn't he?
Very good athlete, and a called play from the bench by Kevin O'Neal. He saw something in the LSU defense, ran Richard Lee off the screen on the baseline, and a great pass by the point guard, Brandon Wharton.
Bob Hall against Hathaway. That time it won't go, and Hathaway gets the rebound. Under 4 minutes to go, Tennessee a chance to take the lead. Good look. Black blocked, and will go to the line. Well, that's a couple of nice passes by Tennessee, getting the ball inside.
And in transition, running the fast break off the missed shot, Wharton bringing it down, and Black beating Spencer down the floor into the lane. Wharton found him. Black goes to the foul line. That's a beautiful play for Tennessee.
Kevin O'Neal always teaching. Constantly one of the best teachers in the game. Vocal, outspoken. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks at any time. But he communicates very well, and the kids really play hard for him.
Not only that, but he really knows how to build a program. He's teaching these guys not only how to play the game of basketball, but how to become winners on and off the floor. He does a lot of great things in this community, and a tremendous recruiter, which is evident by the outstanding young talent that he has on this Tennessee team, and also the new recruits he's got coming in. We've already talked about Tony Harris, maybe arguably the best point guard in the country in high school right now out of Memphis East High School.
Black hits the free throw, and Tennessee leads at 27-26. The Volunteers getting the ball inside against LSU. And we'll be back after this message from Bell South. Today's game is brought to you in part by Bell South, one single source for all your telecommunications needs. Bob Kessling and Joe Dean with you today from the Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee leading LSU 27-26. I mentioned Dale Brown, his record against Tennessee all time, 27 wins and only 19 losses, assisted now by Bob Boyd, who was, of course, a longtime coach in this league at Mississippi State. Was at Southern Cal, brought in this year to kind of help Coach Brown with some of the X's and O's.
Considered one of the better teachers in the game of basketball, and Dale Brown continues to just rave about the job Bob Boyd has done on both sides of the court, offensively and defensively, in helping improve these young LSU players.
LSU trying to get the lead back, down by 1 with 3:20 to go first half. Lead is seesawed back and forth. Carter down the lane, gets fouled, and will go to the line. So Carter gets hammered trying to take it in, and now guns for his 9th and 10th point at the line. The announcers for the game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Bob Hall leaves the game, and into the contest comes Adam Walton, who is Bill Walton's son. Now Carter goes to the line to try and tie it and misses. 1 for 2 at the line today.
Maurice Carter out of Forest Hill High School in Jackson, Mississippi, was rated as one of the top 50 high school players in the country. Coming out of high school and signed with LSU. Had arthroscopic knee surgery on August the 1st, but he's come back and starting to play very, very well. Had 20 points last year against Kentucky. Having a good game here this afternoon.
Carter with the free throw ties the game at 27 with 3:10 to go. Scott Moore back into the game for Tennessee, replacing Black.
We saw Bob Boyd. When you see the LSU players slapping the floor on defensive possession, it's a little bit of the Bob Boyd defense. Get ready, get in the stance. Good look at Coach Boyd right there. Coach at Southern Cal. It's kind of funny. He was actually offered the LSU job back in 1972 before Dale Brown took that job. Boyd turned it down. He was at Southern Cal at the time. Dale Brown took that job in 1972, and 25 years later, they're reunited.
Yeah, LSU hadn't had a whole lot of experience looking for basketball coaches. They've had the same one since '72.
I have a funny story. We talked about Dale Brown at the time was the assistant at Washington State. The question is, do you think the assistant at Washington State will have a chance this year to get the job?
Maybe give him a call at least. Richard Lee short-armed that one just a little bit. And Neighbors gets the rebound.
LSU trying to run every opportunity. Want to try to beat the Tennessee defense down the floor, because once Tennessee gets set, they're very tough.
Shepard back to Carter. Didn't hit that one, but got fouled. Well, he did not get fouled. The foul was underneath against LSU. Carter got rammed pretty good on the shot. They didn't call the whistle there, but there was a foul underneath on Tennessee.
Number 33, Scott Moore, the sophomore out of Carthage. Good look at him. He's a big, strong guy. Tennessee loves his size inside. Not a big scorer, but has blocked out very well the last couple of times down in defensive rebound position.
I should have said the foul was on LSU. Nick Shepard picks it up, his third, and so now going to the line will be Scott Moore as Spencer comes back into the game. Hadn't hit a free throw yet this year. Scott's 0 for 2. And 0 for 3 now. Shot is missed. Good hustle by Hathaway, and they roll each other out of bounds.
Hathaway on a takedown. 3 points to Tennessee. Bob Boyd's real excited about it. Let's take a look at the hustle by both teams. Spencer, Hathaway, a couple of big 6'10" guys. That was definitely a takedown.
Yeah, exactly.
For Hathaway.
Exactly. Hathaway on the alternate possession. Ball goes back to LSU, though. 27 all, 2 minutes to go, first half.
Tennessee switching out on the handoff, keeping constant pressure on the basketball.
Washington missed it long. Aaron Green rebounds. Outlet pass almost lost, but Brandon comes back to get it. Wharton brings it up. Pass inside. Hathaway, though, being held down low by Spencer. And so now Tennessee goes to the line.
Hathaway just a freshman. Spencer's the senior, but Hathaway has about 30 pounds on Spencer. He gets good position inside. All Spencer can do right there is foul him, and Hathaway will go to the foul line.
Tennessee as a team is only shooting 65% from the free throw line, but their guards have shot very well. It's their inside guys that have struggled there, and one of those is this young man, Hathaway, only a 41% free throw shooter. And he missed that one. Richard Lee had the rebound, but Neighbors took it away from him. Still tied with 1:41 to go. We've been tied 7 times. There have been 6 lead changes. Adam Walton gives the ball to Washington. Richard Lee knocks it away, and Walton goes back to get it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock.
Excuse me, Bob. LSU's running the flex offense, which is an offense that Bob Boyd ran quite extensively at Mississippi State when he was the head coach in Starkville. A lot of screens in the lane trying to open up shots just like that one. Maurice Carter, the recipient of a flex screen, gets the jumper.
29-27 LSU. Carter a good first half, now 11 points. Brandon Wharton gets it out to Richard Lee. Wharton's open for another 3 and hits it again. Wharton now with 4 3-pointers in the first half.
But credit Richard Lee. He drove it to the lane, stopped, and threw it back from where he came, kind of against the grain, so to speak, and Wharton's man had sucked into the lane to help out.
Richard Lee on the steal. Racing with Neighbors. Can't finish. Does this time.
The Vol faithful like that play right there. Great defense. The steal and scoring in transition off of that turnover. And the Vol fans are on their feet here in Knoxville.
Tennessee with a 5-0 run to take a 3-point lead. LSU could take the last shot of the first half, and that's looks like what the Tigers intend to do. That's the game clock in the right-hand corner. Neighbors hits. Nice play by Neighbors. Cuts it to 1, and that's it for the first half. Neighbors makes it a 1-point game, 32-31. But Tennessee closes with a burst on Richard Lee's steal and takes it down.
Richard Lee right here. You see him. Nice move into the lane. Got his own rebound, stuck it back in. Beautiful play off the turnover.
Lee with 6 points in the first half. We're at halftime. Tennessee leads LSU 32-31. We'll be back in a moment.
SEC basketball.
31. The Volunteers have struggled scoring away from home, but they played well here, and Joe is a very good first half for Tennessee.
Excellent first half. We expected a lot of defense by both teams, but they've run the ball down the floor very well. Tennessee has scored on off some turnovers and fast break baskets. Brandon Wharton has shot the ball extremely well, but LSU and Dale Brown's last game is playing very hard right now, doing a good job.
You know, one thing for LSU, Maurice Carter, of course, has 11 in the first half. Finally got the lid off that 3-point shot, too, as he hit one finally. Here are the standings now. Surprising South Carolina 5-0. Undefeated Kentucky is 4-1. And then comes Vanderbilt. The Commodores had a win yesterday against Ole Miss. Over in the Western Division, this is wild. Really jumbled up. Arkansas 3-2, but then there's Ole Miss, Mississippi State. LSU's at the bottom, but a win today. They're just one game out of first place. So anybody can win the West.
It's the wacky West in the SEC, no question. Anybody's got a shot.
We're at halftime. Tennessee leading LSU. More halftime activities from Knoxville coming up. Basketball tournaments by taking the Trivia Challenge. Experience SEC basketball on the World Wide Web at secevent.com. Bob Kessling and Joe Dean with you from the Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee leading LSU by a score of 32-31 at halftime. Both these teams played very hard in the first half.
Really did. Again, the defense was outstanding, but the shooting, couple of guards. Brandon Wharton, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 14 points. And Maurice Carter, who's been in somewhat of a slump, made his first 3-point basket this afternoon. He has 11 points, doing a good job for LSU.
Let's take a look at what else is going on around college basketball. It's time now for the Jefferson Pilots scoreboard, as again, a very busy weekend of college basketball coming up. Some scores from yesterday. Florida beat Alabama 85-66. Cincinnati stunned Arkansas 92-57. And Kentucky won at home against Auburn.
A few other scores. South Carolina goes to 5-0 in the league. They beat Georgia 82-71. Vanderbilt won at home against 20th ranked Ole Miss 67-64. And today in the second half, Michigan 18th ranked over Iowa 49-42.
So that's what's going on the Jefferson Pilots scoreboard here in Knoxville. It's Tennessee on top of LSU, and we'll continue at halftime in a moment. LSU and Tennessee here at the Thompson Bowling Arena. The Volunteers up by 1. Both these teams have had their woes shooting-wise, but both shooting pretty good today.
You know, Tennessee leads the league in opponent's field goal percentage. Only 37% is what they give up. LSU shot 44% in this first half. Off the down screen inside, Maurice Carter gets freed up for the elbow jumper. He plays some string music with the left hand. Youngster out of Jackson, Mississippi.
11 points for him in the first half, and Tennessee got a spark from Brandon Wharton.
Yeah, great throwback pass right there against the grain by Richard Lee. That set up Brandon Wharton, the left-hander. He's a sophomore also out of Nashville.
So 3 straight good scoring games for Wharton. You see the stats in the first half. Field goals, both teams with 11 free throws. LSU 8 out of 9 and Tennessee 6 out of 9. And really pretty much even, Joe, except the rebounding edge for Tennessee.
Tennessee leads in rebounding, and again, their thing is to hold down the opponent's field goal percentage. They've not done that in the first half. LSU at 44%, doing a good job on the offensive end.
So again, Brandon Wharton with the 4 3-pointers in the first half, helping Tennessee to the 1-point lead. Teams are back on the court. Second half coming up from Knoxville.
What does this name mean to you?
Tennessee leads at halftime, 32-31. Coming up next Saturday, of course, another big day of SEC basketball on Jefferson Pilot Sports. And we hope you'll be with us for a full day of action. 2 games coming your way next week. The South Carolina Gamecocks still undefeated. They will take on the Ole Miss Rebels next week. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And then, of course, the next game to follow, the Vanderbilt Commodores against Mississippi State. And Tyrone Washington has been one of the surprise players, I think, Joe, in this league.
He really has. He's had some excellent ball games of late. We had the game with him against South Carolina where he had 16 points and I think 8 rebounds, about 6 blocks. So he's been quite a presence for Mississippi State.
32-31. Tennessee's last game was against Auburn. The Volunteers had 35 points for the entire 40 minutes. They have 32 this half. And then, of course, Maurice Carter, the big first half for LSU with 11 points and hit that first 3-pointer of the season for him to try and get him off the slide a little bit. So Tennessee gets it first to start the second half. Cornelius Jackson gets the start for the Volunteers.
LSU opens up man-to-man as we expect. Both teams have been man-to-man the whole game.
Wharton misses that time. There's Richard Lee on the offensive glass, and it's blocked away by Bob Hall.
Bob Hall is really coming to his own the last few games, getting a lot more playing time than a rebounder and a shot blocker for LSU.
Earl comes loose on the baseline, and the Tigers, just like that, get the lead back.
LSU has run that play several times today where the tail end of the fast break, they set a screen on the baseline, run Earl right off the screen, and he's been open 2 or 3 times.
Trying to get free. Good look inside. Harris, though, misses the layup. I think Hall might have got a hand on that one, too.
Got his hand on it for sure. Torrey Harris needs to try to make that basket, though. Either score or at least get fouled at worst.
Spencer just lets it fly. A 3. It's his first of the day. 7 points now. LSU has roared out of the locker room to take the lead, 36-32.
LSU's done a good job defensively today on the on-ball screen. You see right there the big guy stepping out to give some help, caused Jackson to pick his dribble up.
You can hear Bob Boyd over on the bench clear across the court yelling out, stay there, move, 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 giving out those defensive instructions. Wharton nowhere to go inside. Richard Lee's got to put it up. The shot clock winding down, and a foul is called.
LSU again has been running transition well. Watch the tail end. Lewis Earl coming off a baseline screen, quick turn and shot, and that's early offense at its best by LSU. The other end here, watch Spencer. This is what he does best. Face the basket, knock down that 3-point basket. 6'10", but he can really stroke it from downtown.
And so Spencer now with 7 points. Richard Lee at the line. He is another one who has struggled at the free throw line for Tennessee. Only a 37% free throw shooter.
The shooting percentages are down all over the country, Bob. It's amazing. I don't know if the 3-point line is affected, maybe the 35-second shot clock, but everywhere you go, people are talking about teams just don't shoot the ball as well. As a matter of fact, the team that leads the SEC in field goal percentage is only shooting about 48%, Arkansas. You don't see any 50% and better teams shooting anymore.
Pass inside. Bob Hall floats it up there, no good, and Wharton gets the rebound. Hall worked hard to get loose down low, but couldn't finish. Wharton kicks it out. Jackson. That's way off the mark. LSU trying to run it up the floor again. Carter lost it out of bounds. It'll still be it should be LSU's ball. Wharton hit it last, they say.
Good job by Brandon Wharton stepping in front of Carter defensively. That's the one thing Tennessee is so good at. They're going to get back in transition and shut down your ball penetration to the goal, not let you get it in the lane for some easy shots.
Bob Hall free on the inbounds play, but misses that one. Boy, LSU has gotten several good looks off their inbounds plays today. Tennessee down by 4 with the basketball.
Tennessee a lot of ball screens, trying to free up perimeter guys.
And Black goes in and gets fouled by Earl.
What happens when you come off of a non-ball screen, somebody has to step up and help, and when that happens, the defense rotates. That left C.J. Black open under the basket because his man left to go help.
First foul on Earl. Now C.J. Black goes to the line. Very pleasant young man. You always see him with a smile on his face. Dale Brown talking to Bob Hall on the Tiger bench.
What a job that guy's done right there in 25 years at LSU. He took a program that was really down in the post-Pete Maravich era, took them to the Final Four twice. Now the second winningest coach in the history of the SEC. His legacy at LSU will be felt for a long, long time.
Wow, this is the second one. You won't see many coaches hang around one place 25 years again. And of course, Dale Brown took these Tigers to 15 straight postseason tournaments, and that's remarkable.
And 4 SEC championships.
And some great battles down through the years against Tennessee. One of those going on today. Richard Lee just got out of control a little bit. Now he crashed into the basket support.
The paint on the lane over there is a little bit heavy, and I think he slid over that paint. Let's watch it. Taking it to the goal. I think it went off of his teammate's foot.
Bang.
Well, that's scary right there. Hope he's okay.
He's all right. Kevin O'Neill trying to find out exactly what happened. O'Neill's philosophy has always been defense first. If you play defense, you're going to play, and he hopes to get offense out of you.
No question. And when he gets a little bit more mature with his team, brings in a little bit more talent, which he'll have coming in next year, he's going to open it up a little more. They're going to be a much more productive offensive team and a very good contender here in the SEC.
Spencer back to Earl. Shot clock now at 5. Somebody's got to fire it. Carter's going to let it fly over Aaron Green. Green got a piece of it. Ball knocked out. It's going to be a shot clock violation.
LSU got out of sync offensively that time, and Tennessee stepped up the pressure. You could just feel it when the shot clock got to 10. They turned the defense up just a little bit, knowing that LSU was scrambling offensively. Jackson's going to run the point right now. They're going to bring Wharton and Green on the baseline to screen for each other to get some open shots.
Joe, this is basically the way O'Neill wants to play, though, with 3 guards and 2 post guys down there.
Well, it would give him a little more offense. Again, we've talked about they've been struggling, last in the league in scoring, last in field goal percentage, trying to find some guys who can make open shots.
Wharton penetrates. C.J. Black from the free throw line. Black ties the game.
The penetration made it happen. Brandon Wharton got to the lane. He causes the defense to converge on him. Beautiful pass, and Black made the free throw jump shot.
First time we've been tied this half. Carter forces his way in. The whistle. And a blocking foul going to be called on Brandon Wharton.
One of the things you need to do against pressure defense is attack on the dribble. If a guy's going to guard you closely, watch the drive by Carter. Takes it and gets to the foul line.
Tennessee has tied the game up 36-36 in Knoxville. Jefferson Pilot Sports coverage of SEC basketball continues today here in Knoxville. Our 10th year of bringing you the best in college basketball. Glad you're with us today. Tennessee and LSU are tied 36-all here with 15:48 to go in this contest. Bob Kessling and Joe Dean with you. We've been tied 8 times today, and now LSU has a chance to unknot things. Shepard's at the free throw line. Short on it. Harris gets the rebound, and Tennessee's got a chance to unknot things. Shea Jones back into the game. It's been very quiet today for Tennessee. Only 1 point so far. Brandon Wharton's had the hot hand all day. Now a whistle and some bumping down low. It's going to be called on Nick Shepard, and that's his 4th foul.
A couple of big bodies down there in the low post. Black trying to establish position. Shepard playing behind him. When you play behind down there, you're going to have to let him catch it. Hope you can get help from the perimeter inside.
So Shepard's got to take a seat. Bob Hall comes back into the game. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a BP best player from each team. In addition to recognizing our 2 best players, BP and its dealers will contribute $2,000 to the Southeastern Conference to be distributed among the member institutions' scholarship funds under a conference-approved plan. 36 all with 15 minutes to go.
Again, LSU zones on the out-of-bounds play. They've done that the entire game, giving Tennessee a little bit different look, but also trying to protect the basket on an out-of-bounds situation.
That's a bullet pass right through the hands of Jones, and going back to score is Carter.
Well, there you see one of the reasons why he was so highly recruited out of Jackson, Mississippi. A tremendous athlete. Showed some good hops right there.
Yeah, he didn't let Lsu Jones have a chance to block that one, did he?
LSU back man-to-man off that made stuff. Look at the double team here on Wharton.
Wharton very quick with the basketball. Lsu Jones to Aaron Green. A three is good, and Tennessee takes the lead back.
It's only the second shot of the day for Aaron Green. Probably the best pure shooter for Tennessee out of Sweetwater, Tennessee. Played for his dad in high school.
Earl to the baseline, short on the shot. Green gets the rebound by default. Knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Tennessee's ball.
You can see Tennessee looking to push the ball a little bit more. They've done that more here at home than they have on the road. We talked about some of the low-scoring games that they've had in 3 of their first 4 SEC games, all of which were on the road. But a week ago, they beat Vanderbilt here 75-65, and they do look to push it a little more here in the friendly confines.
Yeah, you see the home field goal percentage in some of the games for Tennessee. The tops against Morehead State early in the season. Brandon Wharton tees up another one. Now they're shooting well in the gym today. 17 for Wharton. And that's 5 3-point shots, and LSU wants to talk about it as Tennessee now has opened up a 4-point lead. Wharton now has 17 points on the afternoon, 5 of 7 from 3-point range.
Brandon Wharton, the left-handed point guard. He's out of Overton High School over in Nashville, about 3 hours away. Watch him. Not going to guard me? I'm going to make you pay. Little string music here in Knoxville this afternoon. What a nice cold Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, a little snow on the ground this morning. Wharton actually, although he's from Nashville, that's where he went to high school, he was born in Louisville. Lived there till he was in 3rd grade. He was a big Louisville fan growing up. And so he said which fits in here at Tennessee because he grew up hating Kentucky, which blends in very well if you're a volunteer. They don't like Kentucky very much around here. You're arch rivals.
You're a reservoir of information.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good. Look at the double team on Spencer. Got the foul, but good conversion defensively by Lsu Jones right there.
You know, you see, of course, you were involved in some of those games as a coach at Kentucky, but down through the years, the Dale Brown, Ray Mears, Joe B. Hall, all that rivalry back in the 70s, it was really a special time in SEC basketball.
It was, and it's kind of interesting. Dale Brown had Ray Mears here yesterday talking to his team at practice, and I said he gave him a great talk, a lot about work ethic.
Tip by Hall, no good. Battle underneath, Hathaway gets it, gets fouled, and Spencer got him. That's his second.
Hathaway snatched that rebound inside. Big muscular freshman. He's got to improve his offensive game, but Kevin O'Neill works hard with him and thinks he has a lot of promise.
Hathaway, of course, bothered with some injury problems as well during the summer. So when you take all those players, Hathaway and Black and Lsu Jones, they really have battled through some injuries and now are just really getting to playing form. Lsu Jones, although Coach O'Neill says it's about 60 or 70% with that stress fracture problem. He had foot surgery during the preseason. Tennessee leads it, though, by 4 here against LSU. Lsu Jones splits the double team.
Showed some quickness right there. Lsu Jones has not been much of a 3-point threat this year, the foot injury being part of the problem there, but that time he knifed inside and made a shot in traffic.
Tennessee on an 8-0 run now to take the lead. Bob Ball double team. Carter looking for something. All white shirts there, but a foul called. Harris blocked it, but I think got him in the body.
Carter was determined to take it all the way. He had Gene Neighbors open on the right side, but decided to go ahead and drive it in, challenge the big guys, and see if he could get to the free throw line.
Terrence Simmons comes back into the game for LSU. And out will go Gene Neighbors. And C.J. Black comes back for the Volunteers. He has 10 points in the game. At the line will go Maurice Carter.
Kevin O'Neill was paying tribute yesterday to Dale Brown, and One of the comments that he made, he said, you know, Dale Brown will probably be the only coach to ever walk on the moon.
You know, their backgrounds are pretty similar. Dale Brown came, of course, from up in Minnesota.
North Dakota.
North Dakota. That's
Minot,
right.
North Dakota.
Yeah. And then Kevin O'Neill from upstate New York.
Both a couple of characters, I'll tell you that.
Black in the lane, gets the roll.
Great entry. Tennessee took it to one side, reversed it to the other. There's Black, posted beautifully. He took it to the lane and made the shot. He's been the best inside threat for Tennessee in SEC competition.
Now the crowd encourages Tennessee's defense. Carter on the baseline quiets him down. He has 16 today. Carter having a good afternoon.
He's playing very well. Key for him, though, he's got to be more consistent for LSU. You can't have 16, 18, 21 night and 2 or 4 the next. You got to step up every night and be consistent.
Aaron Green wide open. That's 2 of them this half. 6 points for Green. And his mom, who keeps score at every game. She's with him every play. See, I've never seen a mom so much into a game like that. And Green makes a steal. That'll go down on that chart. Deshae Jones, good look to Hathaway, and he's fouled going in. Aaron Green has led this surge for Tennessee at both ends of the floor.
The crowd loves it. Tennessee fast break basketball, going from one end to the other.
The Green family there, of course, he played for his dad, Danny, at Sweetwater. Had a great high school career. Carter picks up his 3rd foul for LSU. And out, Joe, suddenly Tennessee's got all the momentum on their side thanks to Aaron Green. Hathaway hits the free toss. We've just been told that the second Aaron Green shot was changed with 2. His foot apparently was on the line. So give him 5 points on the afternoon, not 6.
Aaron Green, not only a great shooter, but he actually leads this team in assists. He's 2nd in the SEC in steals. He's a near 80% free throw shooter.
And Hathaway rolls in the free throws. Tennessee now leads it by 9 on a run here in the second half.
Here's why. Great quick hands and shades of things to come. Tennessee fast break basketball. Charles Hathaway runs the floor and gets the feed from Deshae Jones. Aaron Green loves that kind of basketball for the Volunteers, but he also can do this right here. Little string music in Knoxville. And who likes it the most? There she is, his mama. Do it, son.
So the Green family whooping it up as Aaron has helped Tennessee on a 14-3 run as the Volunteers now have taken the lead 50-41. 11:18 to go. LSU with the timeout. Now the Tigers got to get something going offensively. Backdoor cut. Good defense as Tennessee knocks it out of bounds off of Carter. And so the Volunteers get it back.
Good call right there by Dale Brown at the timeout to set up a backdoor layup opportunity, but execution just wasn't there.
Brandon Wharton on the baseline. The ball knocked away. Washington saves a nice defensive play. Shepard's open. Can't get the bounce. There's Aaron Green again.
People have a tendency to think of Aaron Green strictly as a shooter, but he's a very good all-around player. Passes the ball, good defender, excellent hustler for Kevin O'Neill's team.
He has guarded guys 6'7" this year. And of course, Joe talked about his steals and his rebounding. A tough-nosed kid, and he hits another one.
The Aaron Green Show. Sweetwater High School right here in the state of Tennessee. Mom and Dad proud of this young man, and they're in the stands.
Just a fumble away by Shepard. Lack of concentration there, and Tennessee now has a chance to open up a big lead. Brandon Wharton. Good look down low. And another bucket and a foul. C.J. Black. Another chance for a three-point play.
Well, the one thing that C.J. Black can do that the other inside players for Tennessee can't is draw contact and still make the basket. He likes it. He's a freshman out of Brainerd High School. Watch him. Watch him use his muscle. He draws contact, stays alive, gets it in. Good touch for the freshman C.J. Black.
And Shepard now has fouled out for LSU. That's his 5th foul. The first Tiger to leave. And one thing about it, Shepard, who was averaging 8 points a game, did not score against Tennessee. He had problems against them last year. Only 1 basket in the game. And no points today.
Nick Shepard came out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, played at Barb High School for a young man that I happen to know, David Costello, whose father, Ted, is a longtime sports writer in Baton Rouge. He used to write the high school beat for the Baton Rouge Morning Advocate. Good family.
C.J. Black, big day for him. 14 points. And that one won't stay. There's Hathaway inside, gets fouled. Tennessee's just whooping them inside now.
And they are with a couple of freshmen. The Tennessee faithful like this because they see youthful players getting it done. Hathaway, Black inside.
Back into the game comes Dwayne Spencer for the Tigers. They're trying to get some firepower in the game now as they're slowly falling away behind Tennessee. The Volunteers only led at halftime by 1, 32-31. But now Tennessee's on a 19-3 run. And Hathaway continues to struggle at the line.
The LSU front line is just not a real powerful front line. Spencer, the best front line player, and he's some.
Missed them both. And now LSU's got the ball. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. Tennessee leads by 14. Shepard. Nope. Hathaway rebounds.
You can see Hathaway building his confidence as this game goes along.
You see the three-point shooting, Green and Wharton for Tennessee. They have 7 combined. Black turns and faces. Spencer gets the rebound.
Little Jack Sikma move there. The inside reverse pivot. Over the head jump shot. Didn't go that time for C.J. Black.
Here's Green again with a steal. Ball knocked into backcourt, and that's an over and back call. Interesting story about Aaron Green. Comes from an athletic family. We've talked about that. In fact, his mom was pregnant. She was at a softball game where his dad was playing softball. She went into labor in the middle of the game. And so mom had a friend take her to the hospital. Dad stayed and finished the game.
That wouldn't wash at my house.
No, but that's just kind of, in that family, they're all so athletically minded.
Aaron Green's a delightful young man and playing extremely well here this afternoon.
55-41 is our score. Tennessee in front. He was a pretty good football player as well, but when your dad's the basketball coach, you're going to spend a lot of time playing basketball.
What's commonly known as a gym rat.
Yeah.
Going to live in that gymnasium, and Aaron Green was one of those. Nice out of bounds.
Washington puts it up, gets fouled. Now Green goes down, stepped on somebody's foot, I think.
He definitely rolled that ankle. You can see him in pain. First time that you roll the ankle, the pain is excruciating. And you almost feel like you're going to pass out. That's what Aaron Green feels like right now.
Mom up there making sure he's all right.
Let's see if we can see it. The out-of-bounds lob. Washington is about 4 inches taller than Green. They lob it to him. Watch the left ankle here. Yep, came down right on C.J. Black's foot. Oh, he rolled it. He's in pain right away. The pain will subside after 3 or 4 minutes. They'll get him up, and hopefully he can walk it off.
I'll tell you what, this is a tough young man, though.
Standing O in Knoxville for young Aaron Green.
8 points for him, and he has really been the guy that's helped this Tennessee team open up the lead, as Green didn't score anything in the first half. 2 big three-pointers here, the Volunteers, and the 2 steals, of course. Now Tennessee has built up the lead 55-41. LSU, though, still plenty of time left. Kevin on 51 to go.
Kevin O'Neill asking him on the bench, how'd you give up that lob pass? I mean, what happened there?
Why'd you foul the guy?
Right, man, one.
There goes Aaron back to the locker room, I'm sure, to get the ankle retaped. Kevin O'Neill's philosophy has always been, if you can walk, you can play. So Green's walking. I would expect him to be back.
I have a very dear person in my life who likes to say the great ones play with pain. True story.
Rogers Washington now with 4 points on the day.
Rogers Washington had 16 against Tennessee last year in a loss to the Vols in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, 33 in a game this year against Louisville, so he can score. The Tigers need some stops now against Tennessee to try and get back in this thing. Wharton. Richard Lee. Boy, that was correct. Didn't hit iron.
Must have been a headwind up there near the goal.
David Mosley now into the game for the LSU Tigers. Adam Walton has the ball. And Washington, good move against Wharton.
That's the kind of talent that Rogers Washington has right there. Caught it, quick right-hand dribble, jump stop, knocked down the 15-foot jumper.
LSU went over 3 minutes without a basket as Tennessee opened up the lead, and now the Tigers have cut it back down to 10. Bad pass inside. C.J. Black scrambles after it, tries to call timeout as he's crashing into the bench. He did travel. Gene Mungie made the call. The crowd didn't like it, but I thought he traveled. He was skipping while he was trying to get the timeout call.
He definitely had possession of the ball. Couldn't get it down because of the resistance by LSU. Let's take a look at it. You see him hustling after the ball. David Mosley right there with the resistance, and he definitely skipped out of bounds. That's a travel and a good call by Gene Mungie.
A timeout is called for. They have those little stools that the players sit on during timeouts. They get all tangled up there, but appears to be all right. Tennessee's all right now, leading by 10 with 7:51 to go. Great job on that ankle, back out, and I would expect to be back in the game very, very soon, as Green rolled his ankle just a moment ago, went back into the locker room. Now back out, and LSU trying to cut into this 10-point lead. Sure, LSU's got a lot of firepower. They can get back in this thing.
They do. They've been a team that can score in bunches, and they need to get a run going right here.
Mosley out front. Shot clock now at 12. Washington trying to get free on the baseline. Can't. Shot clock now at 7. Pass inside. Somebody's got to shoot it. And Spencer misses. Good strong rebound by Tennessee. Deshae Jones out to Brandon Wharton.
And again, Tennessee blocking out very well, holding LSU to only 1 shot on the offensive end.
Key for Tennessee today, the Volunteers now 7 of 9 from 3-point range. That being Green and Brandon Wharton. And that's on Jack.
Out very well, holding LSU to only 1 shot on the offensive end.
Key for Tennessee today, the Volunteers now 7 of 9 from 3-point range. That being Green and Brandon Wharton. And that's on Jackson, tries to split the double team. And the ball goes back over to LSU.
Bob Boyd, the assistant at LSU, told me before the game that LSU was going to try to trap some on the on-ball screen. That's what happened right there. Spencer jumped out and trapped on Jackson and forced that turnover.
This is where Tennessee's defense and pass games has really tightened up. Walton from the baseline, no good. Over the back goes Washington. Joe, one thing, it's fun to watch Tennessee's defense. If you're an opposing coach, it's not a lot of fun. But fundamentally, this Tennessee defense is about as sound as anybody's in the conference as Aaron Green comes back into the game to a huge ovation.
Mom feels a little bit better, although she's got her hands clasped together.
Look at her clipboard now. She keeps everything now. She keeps the stats, the assists, bad passes too.
Kevin O'Neill, we talked about being an outstanding defensive coach. Spends a lot of time in practice working on defensive transition, containment defensively, and blocking out off the board. That's why Deshae Jones is at the foul line right now, because he did a good job blocking out on the shot.
4th point for the day. He's from Sandusky, Ohio, out of Vincennes University, and transferred in here for this season. Had really earned the starting spot, and then the stress fracture problem in preseason.
One of his best friend from Sandusky, Ohio, a guy by the name of Orlando Pace.
That's right.
Outland Trophy winner from Ohio State.
Shepard, off-balance shot. Hathaway picks that one off. Hathaway's done a good job in the middle. 9 rebounds now for Hathaway.
Tennessee pushing the ball down the floor offensively here today.
Give and go to Shea Jones. An assist for the big guy.
Big Charles Hathaway, it's the second time he's done that today. Give and go to Shea Jones. Beautiful pass and a smart play by the freshman.
And LSU wants a timeout. Tennessee pulling away again. It's 59-45. Tennessee leading the LSU Tigers. And so 6:03 remaining. And the Volunteers trying to go to 2-3 in the SEC against LSU. All-tell play of the game turned in by the Tennessee Volunteers.
You're taught at an early age in basketball, when you pass, cut to the basket. Shea Jones does it. Results, layup. He likes that. Charles Hathaway, the freshman. Watch the feed from him. He finds the cutter. Nice give and go play right there for the Tennessee Volunteers. And one of the reasons why the Vols are shooting 56% in the second half.
50% for the game. That's good news for Kevin O'Neal's team, as they have struggled with that shooting in recent games, but shooting extremely well today. And that's the reason for the 14-point lead with 5:55 to go and the clock ticks. Jump shot outside, good by Neighbors. That's a 3. 9 points now.
LSU's very capable of making a comeback. They've had some big wins this year over Iowa and Fresno State. They took Louisville to overtime earlier, but had a loss in December to Samford. So they've been somewhat inconsistent. Samford, a Division I program. John Brady's team down in Birmingham went into Baton Rouge and pulled off a big upset earlier in December.
They've had some leads in the second half of games in SEC play, and just haven't been able to close the deal out. Wharton open again. Boy, he's having a big day, isn't he?
Is he ever? He has been unconscious. Left-hander. We've talked about him all day. He has his dead eye in place this afternoon.
That's 6 3-pointers now for Brandon Wharton. And Tennessee leads at 61-48. Hathaway claims the rebound.
And again, holding LSU to 1 shot. LSU just has not been able to get to the offensive glass much in the second half.
They gave Wharton, my bad again, they gave him a 2, not a 3, so that's 19 points for Wharton. And only 5 3-pointers. That's still pretty good, though. 4:42 to go in the game, 61-48. Wharton 5 of 7 from 3-point range. Hathaway goes out, gets a nice hand. Black's pass deflected and knocked away and stolen. Tigers on a 2-on-1 break. Neighbors rolls that one in somehow.
Excuse me, Bob, I'm sorry. Should have given that ball up right there, but got it in nevertheless.
11 now for Neighbors. 61-50. Black. Boy, I tell you what, that's a pretty good move down low. Ran over Washington, gets the bucket to go, and he's got 16.
Great asset is when you have tremendous power and strength, as C.J. Black does, but you also have good shooting touch in traffic in the lane. That's what we've seen today by C.J. Black.
Black's in double figures now for the 5th time in the last 6 games for C.J.
Oh, watch this right here. Good defensive possession for Brandon Wharton. Could have been the charge right there. Neighbors knocks him down, gets the no call, and gets the basket. And at the other end, same exact thing. Watch this. Turn, bump. Could have been an offensive foul. Again, the no call. They're calling it the same way both ends.
Shea Jones has to go back and get it. Jones is open, and it rolls out for him. LSU down 13 with the clock winding down. Green got a hand on another pass. Couldn't get the steal.
He's all over the place today. Mr. Floorburn, Aaron Green.
Spencer, nice move against Black.
Kevin O'Neal won't like that one because nobody converged to shut down that penetration. They let Spencer go one-on-one, and he's an outstanding player. Great skills for a big guy at 6'10", can dribble it, pass it, and an excellent facing shooter.
9 now for Spencer on the day. Kicks it back out. Green. Good look in low from Black, and he's fouled by Spencer. Today, I think Tennessee, you get the feeling they're a little more comfortable in the offense in the way they've been throwing the ball around.
Comfortable is exactly the word I'd say, Bob. Watch the pass away from the defense, which is the key. There's no weak side help to jam that play right there. And again, with the power of C.J. Black, he can get to the foul line. But beautiful feed by Aaron Green. And I agree with you. They look very comfortable today. They've run the ball more than we've seen them do in previous games. And just more offensive firepower by Kevin O'Neill's team this afternoon here in Knoxville.
Because they had a tough schedule to start the SEC. They opened at Kentucky, then went to South Carolina, and then played at Auburn. Those are three of the toughest spots in the SEC. So those 3 losses, the 1-3 record doesn't look good. But when you analyze it where they've been, that's 1-3.
And Kevin O'Neill plays it closer to the vest on the road. He's got a young team, inexperienced. He doesn't want to let the game get away from him, and consequently, they've had some low-scoring games on the road.
Ward. They'll reset it with 2:26 to go on the game.
LSU is not quit. They're still battling hard defensively. A credit to their players.
There's the shot clock winding down. Deshae Jones in the lane. A little runner is good. 66-52.
When you pressure defensively, you've got to be able to rotate and shut down ball penetration. Deshae Jones showing a quick first step, gets to the goal, and a beautiful layup.
9 points for Deshae Jones, 8 in the second half, and again Tennessee leads it by 14, 66-52. Along with our producer Roger Roebuck, director Jimmy Moore, Bob Kessling, and Joe Dean with you on a Sunday afternoon. SEC basketball as Dale Brown again makes his last visit to Knoxville. He actually decided to resign around the first of the year, and now will be saluted at all the SEC stops along the way.
Here's Deshae Jones on the play before. Nice head and shoulder fake. Crossover move. C.J. Black with the screen. Nobody picks him up. Acrobatic layup. And that's the kind of talent that they have been hoping for from the junior college transfer out of Vincennes University.
Now both Coach Boyd and Coach Brown up trying to get something going offensively. Coach Boyd walked to the end of the bench after they missed that shot.
Tennessee will slow it down right now and run some clock. 14-point lead, less than 2 minutes to go.
Deshae Jones has the ball knocked away, but gets it back. Now he finds the seam, kicks it out. Wharton gonna fire again for 3. No, this time. Spencer rebounds. 1:20 to go. LSU can't waste a lot of time here. Spencer walks. He didn't think so, but he turns it over.
Dwayne Spencer again, the senior, trying to be a leader, trying to bring his LSU team back with his offensive production. Dale Brown frustrated this afternoon. Close out his career here in Knoxville with a loss.
Approach the 1 minute mark. Tennessee, of course, goes to Ole Miss on Wednesday night. And the Rebels won't be in a very good mood. They got off to that good start, the big win over Kentucky, but now they've dropped a couple, so the Volunteers on the road again Wednesday. Brandon Wharton in the lane. Needs to do something with it. Finally puts it up. No good. Spencer rebounds. Now the Tigers have a run out. Earl throws it to Carter. Another 3. Nope. Green gets banged down low against Spencer, out of bounds to Tennessee, and Green took a shot in the nose.
Again, no harm, no foul. Officials, I think, ready to go home.
66-52.
Good win here today for Tennessee. Kevin O'Neill's team battled hard. Both teams have played hard. It's been a good defensive battle, but Tennessee with a little bit more firepower offensively, and thus the victory.
Tigers aren't going to foul, I don't think. Clock winding down. Brandon Wharton just dribbles out front and Tennessee is going to win it over LSU today here in Knoxville, 66-52. Dale Brown finishes his career 11-12 against Tennessee. He wins the first one, but loses his last visit to Knoxville as Aaron Green and Brandon Wharton powered Tennessee in their 8th win of the season, now 2-3 in the SEC. We'll be back after this word from your local SEC station.
SEC basketball was brought to you by Alltel, the one choice for altogether better solutions. And by Purnell's Old Folks Country Sausage, because it's good.
Tennessee wins it today over LSU, 66-52. Joe Dean now standing by with some of the victorious Volunteers.
Okay, I'm here with the VP player of the game, Brandon Wharton, a sophomore out of Nashville. Brandon, 5 of 8 from three-point range. You really had it going today.
Yeah, I got some great screens. Really played pretty hard all around, and I was fortunate enough to knock them down.
It's a big win for your team today, wasn't it?
No doubt. We played great here at home, and definitely 2-3 in the SEC, and it's definitely a big win for us.
You're shooting the ball much better. You started out kind of slow. Are you getting your confidence back now?
I think so. I think it's a team thing, no doubt. Our team confidence has grown, especially here at home. So, we need a little kickstart sometimes, and shots will fall and help us out a whole lot.
Great day today. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, Brandon Wharton. I'm here with Kevin O'Neill, victorious Tennessee coach. Kevin, had to be a good win today. Any win's a good one.
Well, when you're playing with this many young guys, I mean, you saw us at Auburn. We had more in the second half than we had the whole game, and it's one of those things where we've struggled. We've been up and down, faced some adversity. So anytime you can win at home, it's a good one. We hate to see Dale come for the last time. I don't care what anybody says, like him, not like him, whatever he says. He's great for the game, but it was a great win for us.
Well, you're the #1 defensive team in the league, but it looked like today you were trying to push the ball more offensively.
Believe it or not, Joe, we've been trying to all year. It's just that on the road, it seems like we totally freeze up. I don't know, maybe we need a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or I need one, I know that. But we really do a better job of pushing it at home, and I think it's a comfort level.
Well, it's a great win for you today. Congratulations.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, that's Kevin O'Neill, victorious coach of the Tennessee Vols. And we'll go back now to Bob Kessling.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Tennessee wins it today, 66-52. And we'll continue from Knoxville after these messages from your local SEC stations. 8-6 overall. LSU falls to 8-10. Tennessee wins it 66-52. Now time for our BP best players. And for the Tennessee Volunteers, Brandon Wharton with the 19 points and 4 rebounds. For LSU, Maurice Carter with 16 points and 2 rebounds. So our BP best players today, it's Tennessee over LSU, 66-52, as C.J. Black also had 17 points for Tennessee in the game. Our thanks to our Jefferson Pilot crew. And again, from Knoxville, our final, Tennessee 66, LSU 52. For Joe Dean, this is Bob Kessling, and so long from Knoxville.